Listen, I want to hand you a mirror. Not the bathroom kind. A mirror that reflects how your wife sees you right now. Most men aren't ready for that view. You think you know your image when you shave, straighten your collar, check your reflection in shop windows. But her lens is different. It filters for strength, direction, presence, self-respect. Look into this mirror with me. If you do, a lot of things will suddenly make sense. Why she barely looks up when you walk in. Why she scrolls while you talk. Why you feel less like a husband and more like furniture. That pays bills. Here's the first hard truth. Respect doesn't vanish in an explosion. It dries up like a plant you forgot to water. Edges brown. Leaves curl. They fall one by one. By the time you notice, it's been dying for months. That's marriage for a lot of men. No big crisis, just quiet erosion. On paper, everything looks fine. 2 jobs, 2 kids, decent house. But something subtle has shifted. She doesn't look at you the same. You can't circle the date it started. It drifted in. That's the trap. Because there's no alarm bell. You assume you're okay. Meanwhile, respect is bleeding out drop by drop. And you're busy. Working. Providing. Checking boxes. You tell yourself, I'm doing my part. But being a provider is table stakes now. It's not the trump card you think it is. Why? Because you're not only competing with reality, you're competing with her phone. Every scroll serves a highlight reel of composite men who don't exist. The CEO who tucks kids into bed at 7, meditates at 4, lifts at 5, builds empires by noon, and plans castle weddings on weekends. The dad with a 12-pack teaching his son to ride a bike in golden light. The poet warrior who cries on cue and closes multi-million deals between sunsets. She doesn't consciously decide to compare. Her brain automates it. After thousands of micro-hits, her standard becomes a collage of perfected moments from different men, shot by professionals, filtered by algorithms, packaged as normal. Then she looks back at you. Human, imperfect, real. And the mirror gets cruel. The impossible composite. Modern conditioning taught women to expect a man who is somehow dominant, but never controlling. Ruthlessly driven, yet always available. Stoic under pressure, and emotionally fluent on demand. Physically flawless, but never vain. A decisive leader who also shares every decision. That man doesn't exist in a single body. He exists in clips. I watched a good man, Andre, lose ground this way. 12 years married, stable job, home every night, faithful. His wife fell down the lifestyle account rabbit hole. Flash mob airport proposals, castle receptions, 50K dresses. He picked her up with flowers last month. Thoughtful, loving, real. But it wasn't content. It couldn't compete with spectacle. He didn't know he'd entered a contest no husband can win. The signals respect is dying. You need a checklist. No drama, just data. Here are the common tells. 1. She stops asking your opinion on consequential things. Not dinner. Decisions. Schools. Money. Plans. You get informed, not consulted. That's roommate energy, or wallet energy. 2. Public correction. You tell a story. She interrupts to fix trivial details. Thursday, not Friday. Cloudy, not raining. Blue shirt, not gray. It's not about accuracy. It's a status cue. I don't trust his competence. 3. No reputation shield. Someone jabs at you. She joins in. Or she initiates. At least your husband remembers anniversaries. Laughter on the outside. Contempt on the inside. 4. Physical drift. Not just sex. Proximity. She sits at the other end of the couch. Walks beside you. Not with you. Turns away in bed. Her body speaks before her mouth does. 5. The quiet that kills. No more arguments about things that matter. You think peace means progress. Often it means she's already checked out. When a woman stops fighting, she's no longer investing. 6 months later, men are shocked when the suitcase appears. The exit started long before the door closed. How we train. Disrespect. Here's the part men don't like hearing. We often train the very behavior we hate. You think you're being a good man by avoiding tension. You apologize quickly. You soften edges. You make yourself endlessly available. You keep the peace at any cost. But you're not signaling love. You're signaling compliance. And compliance kills attraction. Women don't want to dominate a man. They want to trust a man. Trust requires this. When emotion spikes, you don't. That's the calm she tests for, consciously or not. If every flare-up gets rewarded with your apology, your gifts, your backpedaling, you created a loop. Drama, reward. Like any loop, it compounds. The biology underneath. There's a neurochemical layer here. Drama pumps adrenaline and dopamine, reward and excitement. Submission from you gives another dopamine hit. I won. The brain learns. Cause storm, get payoff. Break the loop, and there's initial escalation like any withdrawal. Hold steady through that phase, and the system resets. Respect returns when reliability returns. The frame called is the wolf rule. When tension rises, the alpha doesn't snap or submit. He stands still, reads, decides whether it's posturing or a genuine challenge. Most of the time, calm presence ends it. That's your job, not coldness. Command of yourself. If it's a real issue, you broke a promise, said something cruel, neglected your role, own it, and correct it. That's leadership. If it's manufactured heat, boredom, testing, algorithm-fed anxiety, don't feed it. No reward, no chase. Care is action, presence, initiative, plans, standards. Submission is performance. Apologies to buy. Peace. Promises you can't enforce. One builds respect, the other erodes it. What women actually respect. Not a man who is nice. A man who is good and capable. There's a difference. Nice bends to avoid conflict. Good holds a line to protect what matters. Women say they want more sensitivity, more availability, more openness. They do. From a man who can be hard when hardness is required. Gentleness chosen. Gentleness because you have no alternative. A cousin of mine learned this the hard way. His wife said he worked too much, wasn't present, wasn't emotional enough. He restructured everything. Shorter hours, therapy, long nightly talks. 2 months later, she left him for his business partner. 80-hour weeks, granite spine. Her words, I lost attraction when you became everything I asked for. That paradox confuses men. Here's the translation. She doesn't want a man she can shape. She wants a man she can trust, who chooses tenderness without losing teeth. The social frame that breaks. Men culture trains women to be the prize. It trains men to be the applicant. If you accept that frame, you cannot be respected. Applicants ask for permission. Leaders extend invitations. You are not auditioning to be worthy of your wife. You are building a life worth inviting someone into. That's the frame she fell for when she met you. Direction, edges, purpose. Then many men sand those edges down. Whatever you want, honey. You're right. I'm sorry. When you're not wrong. Every time you make peace more important than truth. Soft enough times, and you disappear. The rewrites. She does. When respect slips, watch for these mental moves. History revision. I wasn't that into him at first. She edits out the moments she admired you to justify current feelings. Future without you. When I retire, I'll travel. You vanish from the picture she paints. Emotional test drives. New friend who understands her. Deep conversations. Harmless, she says. She didn't leave for him. She left because you weren't someone she could look up to anymore. He was just the exit door. 2. Choices. When respect is low. When you see the signs, you don't negotiate. You decide. Transform. Not cosmetically, not performative fixes, but identity deep. Standards, boundaries, mission, physical and mental discipline, time ownership, social circle, purpose. Depart. With dignity if the dynamic is built on contempt and stays there when you recalibrate. Some people are addicted to chaos. You can't apologize them into peace. Most men choose a third option, hope. They wait it out. They try harder in the same way that failed. They perform kindness to earn back attraction. Respect isn't negotiated. It's recognized. The 5 rules of recalibration. If you want a practical map, use this. Rule 1. Audit your frame. Where do you bend to avoid heat? Where are you outsourcing approval? Cut people-pleasing at the root. Replace with principles you can state in one sentence. Rule 2. Lead decisions that affect your mission and household. Invite her perspective. Hear it, then decide. Kindly, firmly. Leadership isn't domination. It's responsibility plus clarity. Rule 3. Reward the behavior you want. Calm conversation gets your full attention. Drama gets space and time. Be consistent long enough for the pattern to reset. Rule 4. Speak in actions. Sleep, strength, money, focus, friendships, purpose. Get those right. Your calendar and your body say more than any speech. Rule 5. Hold the line with warmth. Firm boundary. Soft tone. I'm here when you're ready to talk like an adult. Then go live your life. A story about the right calm. I once told a woman I was seeing, I'm real. I won't compete with your phone's fantasy. I won't be a collage you assemble from reels. I'll be me. If that's not enough, choose differently. She bristled. Then she looked up. For the first time in months, we were in the same room, not in a slideshow. That's what calm frame does. It breaks the spell. What your grandfather knew. My grandfather never chased storms. My grandmother was fiery. Sharp words, strong will. He wouldn't match the fire or submit to it. He'd listen, wait, decide. If she withdrew into silence, he didn't beg. He lived. Are you done? He'd ask later. Good. Dinner or a walk? He wasn't cruel. He was unmoved by tactics. That's why she trusted him for 50 years. Strength isn't loud. It's immovable self-respect. The line. Most men need to hear your wife doesn't want a good man if good means agreeable, apologetic, endlessly available. She wants a great man. Good and formidable. Kind and non-negotiable about what matters. The fix is not meanness. It's not control. It's the return to the man you were before you started performing for approval. Opinions you could defend. Goals not up for vote. Friends, interests, and a mission that existed before she arrived, and will exist if she leaves. That man was attractive because he was whole. The mirror again. So look into it one more time. Does she consult you on real decisions? Does she protect your reputation in public? Does her body seek you out? Does she fight for the relationship? Or has she gone quiet? Do you respect the man you're being? If those answers hurt, good. That pain is instruction, not punishment. Stop performing for an audience that will never be satisfied. Stop competing with fantasy. Stop apologizing for being a man who holds lines. Start with the only approval that scales, your own. Build a life you respect. Invite her into it. Lead with warmth. Enforce with calm. Reward what's healthy. Starve what's not. Sometimes she'll test harder when you change. That's normal. Hold steady. Either she'll recalibrate and respect will return, or she won't, and you'll know the truth. Both outcomes are wins. One rebuilds your marriage, the other rebuilds your life. Choose strength. Choose composure. Choose standards. Be the rock she can lean on, not the clay she can mold. Because love without respect is charity, and marriage without leadership is a slow goodbye. That mirror never lies. Make sure the man in it is one you look up to. If you respect him, she can learn to again. If you don't, start today. Quietly, firmly, relentlessly, becoming the man who earns it.